Hey everyone, it's Rita here. We've had a bit of a rough night here last night, having issues with croup and dealing with Millie not being able to breathe through the night. And this is only the third time that we've experienced this with Millie. The first time we had nothing that we could do, and it actually got me introduced into doTERRA and using oils to help support our kids. That's what I thought using oils was basically for croup, right? So last night I kind of feel a little bit guilty because I think I saw the signs of croup but didn't do anything about it beforehand. I wasn't really sure, and I was just kind of guessing that maybe this was there, but it sounded different to last time, okay? So I know that there's a lot of people that are really looking for something that they can do to, I guess, take control of situations where you feel hopeless, where you feel like there's nothing you can do, and you're like, oh, that sounds awesome, but I don't know how to use oils, or I don't know what to use in that situation, and I feel like I can't do anything because I'm too scared and I'm frozen in indecision, and what can I actually do in that situation? So we've gone through croup 3 times. First time Millie was 12 months old, second time was last year, mid last year, and the last time was last night. The first time, I had never used oils before, and that first night we didn't do anything but try and calm her down, and we had nothing to do, like there was nothing. The second night, after we had spoken to my sister and got some oils, we borrowed a diffuser, used some oils on her. We didn't know what we were doing. We were just following some suggestions that my sister had made, and the results were amazing, and that is what literally changed my life. And Toby in the car this morning on the way to school said, "Thank you, Millie, for having croup that first time, because without croup, you having croup that time, we wouldn't have oils in our life." So he's understood that situation, that turning point for us, has been a life-changing thing for all of us, because we now have oils in our life that are making such a huge difference. So my sister would have just looked through a reference book and found some oils and put, I don't think she even remembers, it's like 4 years ago. But there was some oils that she would have used in that situation. I'm pretty sure it was Easy Air and Marjoram. I'm just guessing because that's what often comes up. And so we used them. Then last year, I had a little bit of it was actually terrifying last year. It was actually worse than the first time. Even though she was only 12 months old, it seemed very mild. Last year was terrifying. And what I did in that moment was I didn't have to go and search for someone who could help me. I didn't have to go, oh my goodness, this person's introduced me to oils. I need to ask them what to do in this situation. It was 11 o'clock at night. I think it was nearly midnight that this happened. And I got my books out. I got my research books. I've got these ones, I've got other ones. So that first time when we had croup the second time, that we had croup come through again, I'm like, I'm going to look at my books, I'm going to see what it says, and I'm going to use a little bit of intuition. I'm not going to use everything that's suggested. I'm going to use a little bit of intuition and go, this is what I feel is the right thing for us to do. I didn't have time last night and that other night to go through and assess, read through what each of those oils did. I literally read what it says here for croup, and I used those oils. That's what I did. I looked at the other one, I kind of weighed up some of the similarities that were suggested, and I was like, oh, does this feel right? Yeah, I'm going to put some of that in, and just went with it. So having something like this, and this is how you become the expert. You don't have to be the expert to start using oils. In fact, you will start to become the expert as you use them, and if you're waiting to be an expert until you use them, it's never going to happen. So I don't have to know everything, and I don't know everything, because I have things available to me that help me in those situations. So if I'm out and about, I have an app on my phone. I don't have to take these big books with me, but this in my home, in my sanctuary where things can sometimes go wrong, I have these here to help me. It is so important to become empowered, to have resources there that help to educate you on how to use your oils. You don't need to know anything to get started, because as you learn, as you start to put things into place, and so I know that Easy Air and Marjoram are good go-tos for croup because we've used that before. That's what has worked for us. But there's some other things that we did last night and the other night, because, and I now know that there's a couple of extra things that we would use in there, and that is imprinted in my mind, so that if this happens again, they would be the ones that we would go to. And I become an expert in that particular thing for my daughter in that situation. So this is where you become Dr. Mum and all that. It does not mean that you do not turn to other medical advice or anything like that. This gives you the opportunity to do something in those first point, those critical moments where something you could do might actually help that situation. Does it mean that we wouldn't have gone to the hospital last night if things got really bad? No. And if things get really bad tonight, because it often gets worse over 3 nights, we'll go to the hospital if we need to. What I'm doing now is I'm learning through the day-to-day. What we're going to do is we're going to apply oils regularly, because I've learned over the years that applying oils regularly and helping to support her today is going to help tonight, because her little body needs to be fighting off this virus that's attacking her, that's, affecting her throat and her airways, and it's in there, and we need to support her body to fight that off. So I'm doing things today. We've got diffusers going. I made up a bowl with some fractionated coconut oil and put some drops of oil in there, because I didn't want to make up a roller bottle. I just did it that way. And we've got that, and we're going to apply that to her every couple of hours, because when we're in this acute stage, we want to actually be doing things regularly to keep the oils in our system, because we want the oils in there to help assist our body to get rid of the crap that's going on, whatever it is. Okay, so there's so many things that you can start to learn. You do not have to be an expert. You become the expert specifically in things that are affecting you and your family. When you investigate them, you have the resources available so that you can look at them and go, okay, this is the issue we've got. Okay, yep, those are the ones. Well, I don't have all those oils. I've got this one. That's what I'm going to try. And if you think that there's something else that you need to use, that's why having an order with doTERRA, your own account, you can order things. So we've used some time through this croup episode, and because it's come up here, I'm like, yep, that's what we need to use. I'm going to use that. I'm nearly out of time. I do not want to have this come up again and not have time available. So I'm like, that's on my order. I'm going to make sure that I'm prepared in every situation. I'm becoming the expert in that situation. Time's not an oil that we use a lot of, just because in our family, it's not something that we use a lot of. Your family might be different. You might use it for lots of things. There's so many benefits to it. But this is how you start to become the expert in the oils without having to be the expert to start with. There's so many elements of the oils that I know nothing about, but I don't worry about that, because if something comes up, I have the resources available. So this is the Modern Essentials. This one is the one that I actually prefer. This is just the way it works best for me. I find this is set out in a way that my brain understands. That's totally fine. It's got a lot of science in there. I'm not science minded, but I like the way this is set out. Then we've got the Essential Life, and this has a lot more recipe type things. So there are recipes in the Modern Essentials, but the Essential Life has a lot more how to use the oils. It's also set out a bit prettier. I actually like the look of this, but I find it easier to find stuff in the Modern Essentials. That's just how I work. That's what works for me. And so I love having both of them. And I normally suggest people choose one to start with, but have the other one there, or get some. I've got heaps of other books that I can refer to as well. These are not my only things, but these are the main ones that I use because they're set out in a way that I know how to find things in there. So this is what is going to empower you. This is, you get your oils, and you can get those oils, and what some people do is they're like, I'm just going to put them in my diffuser for a pretty smell, or I don't know how to use them, I'm just going to put them in the cupboard. That's where I was when I first started. I was not an expert. I knew that oils helped my daughter with croup. That's all I used them for. So they went in the cupboard because we didn't have croup until last year. Okay, so I started to get them out when I was learning new things about how these oils can help. Okay, so there's so many ways that you can use them. You've got emotional things you're dealing with. This is how you learn how the oils can support you emotionally. You don't need to be the expert because you have the resources that help you. And if you're not sure about something, you turn to them. You can ask other people for their opinions and what they have used and what they have done before. But what is so, I guess, frustrating for some people, but is so amazing about this is we are all different people. So something that has worked, so we've used Easy Air and frankincense and marjoram and thyme and stronger and on guard and a few different things, and sandalwood. Those are the things that has worked for us with croup. Someone else suggested that they used Douglas fir, and there was something else, cardamom, and they use the Easy Air stick, and that's what worked for them. I didn't use any of them, but that was what was working for those people. I didn't even think about using them for us because this is what had worked for us previously. So you become the expert in what works for you because different things work for different people. And this is why I love having, I've got them all out everywhere. It's really well set up and looking pretty. I have my oils and I have all the oils so that if something like last night happens, some kind of emergency, some kind of acute situation, or some kind of emotional thing that's going on, or I want to use them I'm drawn to something, I have my oils here and I can go for it. I've got them. I'm not limited. I don't go, oh, I wish I had time. I wish I had that here because that could have been something that would help. So that for me is what gives me a sense of empowerment. I'm ready. I'm ready for anything. Does it mean that I'm never going to have to turn to any other kind of medication or anything? No, but it means that I've got something that I can do. I can learn what works for my family in this situation, and I feel empowered. And last night, honestly, was horrific. I'm still tired. I've just got out of the shower. But it reminded me about why this is so powerful. I'm getting emotional. Why it is so powerful for people to have these oils in their home and to be empowered, because it is terrifying sometimes being a parent, and not even just being a parent, just being a human. Stuff goes on. And if you have things available to you that you can use and you can try, there's something you can do. And with oils, there's something that's helping every single time. These oils help your body. They adapt to what your body needs and they help. It may not be exactly what you need, but there's something going on in there that's actually helping your body. And that's what drew me to these oils. I could have tried something else with my daughter when she had croup when she was 12 months old. There wasn't really many other options. Like with croup, there's not a lot that you can do. I had something that I could try. I have things that I can try now. And then if that's not giving me the results that I want, there's things that I can fall back on that are there, that are available to everyone. But I feel empowered as a mum, as a woman, to look after myself, to look after my kids, my husband. We have things here and we are able to look after ourselves. And we're using something that works with our body, that doesn't have side effects, that is so powerful, that's been created with plants specifically for us. When you look at the science that's in here, like these plants that we're getting this medicine from are designed to help us. You can see the design in it. It's absolutely amazing how they work together with what we need in our system. So, whoa, look at me getting all passionate again. Last night really inspired me to tell more people about this, because I don't want anyone to be in the situation I was in last night and not have anything that they can do. That's not a nice feeling. Okay, that's not fun. You want to have things there that can help you and that you can try. And worst case scenario, your house smells nice, but it's not smelling nice because of toxins. Like, that's worst case scenario, really. So become empowered, become the expert, be okay to learn at your own pace. Don't put pressure on yourself that, yeah, I've got to learn things and I can't use them because I don't know how to use them. No, just start. Start, because that's when you're going to find amazing results that come into your life, and you just won't look back. Well, you will look back and go, I can't believe how I survived before this, because this is so empowering. So I suggest that you get yourself reference books, whether it's one of these, two of these, the emotions book. It may not be these ones, that's okay. These ones work for me because I use doTERRA and they're specific to doTERRA. I have other books that have extra oils and extra uses that often coincide with what's in these. So these I find a lot easier. Get the resources, have the oils available, learn at your own pace how to use them, and change your life. Like, it doesn't have to be scary. It's actually really, really simple. And it becomes easier the more that you do it. I'm going to end there. I hope that's helped you guys. Please invest in resource books, use your oils, and like seriously become empowered, because it's the best feeling in the horrible times. Like it feels amazing to know that there's something you can do. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask. I'm happy to help. Have a great day. I'm going to go and get some sleep and work on not having a sleepless night tonight. See ya.